I understand, everything has been, put before us relative to the history and the details that we've seen.
So what we're saying, the bottom line is it's always been 50, and anything else you see has never been official.
Yeah, it's the same as if my property was 100 feet wide on my deed, my map, and my surveyed property, but yet there's some record that somebody digitized that and it said it was 110 feet. Well, the only thing that's going to stand is me going down there with that certified survey and that property to the courthouse.
Yeah.
And anybody else can make all kinds of errors they want to. And people in good faith using that information made a decision on that, and that's what we did using the 100 feet. And Powell Acres in good faith dealing with the negotiation to deal with moving the 100 feet to 50 feet and the conditions that went with that. So the first thing we got to do, as Gary said, is set back to zero where our starting point, which is dealing with the 50-foot buffer and putting it back, as that's correct the map, basically make the map correction to what it should have been.
Okay.
Which is what this is about.
That's the first part of it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Gary, do you want to?
The recommendation from the town is to approve the technical correction to the official zoning map as proposed in Exhibit B, which is illustrated on the screen and in your packets. By adopting Farragut Municipal Planning Commission Resolution 11-10, and the motion is to follow on your screens. So I'll offer that as part of my recommendation as well.
I have a motion.
I move to adopt it.
Second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We'll move on to item number 4. Gary, are we taking 4 and 5 together? Is that your intention? Discussion and reconsideration of removing the rezoning requirements attached as a condition of approval for the Costco site plan, which was approved July 21st, 2011. And item number 5 is discussion and reconsideration of other requirements attached as conditions of approval for the Costco site plan approved July 21st, 2011.
And a brief history on a couple weeks ago is that the rezoning and site plan were so intertwined that in looking at this and how we were going to try to correct it and get back to zero, as Mr. St. Clair said, almost impossible to go in and try to cherry pick things out. So in my mind, the easiest solution would be to apply a motion to rescind the previous approval and take this as new approval. So you're basically you're relieving all of the conditions and really relieving all the action that took place on the 21st, wiping that out essentially, and you're starting this over again. So that will take care of everything, and the motion that I'm going to offer is going to have the updated the recommendation to update the motion with all the elements that are in the July 21st recommendation from the town staff. So I'll read through this for the sake of the public, people watching at home, and for the record. The Costco wholesale site plan was conditionally approved by the FMPC, Farragut Municipal Planning Commission, at the July 21st, 2011 meeting based upon the erroneous zoning map illustration of 100 feet. One of the conditions of the site plan approval was a petitioning of the town to rezone the subject buffer district from 100 feet to 50 feet. Because this rezoning order was done in error and the development will not be required to petition to rezone any portion of the property in order to meet the minimum ordinance standards, the town must formally relieve the site plan approval from this condition and any other conditions that were erroneously attached under that rezoning. So the recommendations are at the top of the page. My recommendation, town's recommendation, is that this body rescind the resolution to approve the Costco wholesale site plan, which will abrogate all prior action. Upon rescission, approve the site plan as proposed on July 21st, 2011, contingent upon the town staff's recommendations, which are, they're listed below on the screen. It's kind of blurred. In your packets, it may even be blurred, but it's the same one that was in your July 21st staff recommendations. The only change, as you can see in the red, that the Farlow Road, or Farlow Drive as it's referred to, is that we're recommending that item number 22 be changed from building permit to certificate of occupancy. And that is basically a logistical item. It's allowing a little bit more uniformity with our process, and that's typical with site developments that have conditions attached to them. You typically wouldn't attach it to a building permit unless it was a specific circumstance. And then there are items that are related to the rezoning, 28, 29, and 30, which would have to be removed from the conditions. So with the motion and the recommendation for rescission, again, you're basically removing all prior action and doing this anew. So I don't know if at this time you want to entertain a motion or open it up for discussion.
You're asking us to do two things, right?
Well,
You're at the rescind plus just change this administrative
Right.
certificate of occupancy. So
Well, part of
Right.
the rescission is one motion. The second motion would be to approve the site plan as proposed on the 21st with these listed amended conditions. So once you rescind it, that prior action makes it go away. I mean, it's done. And then you would have to reapprove the site plan with these conditions that are listed. Kind of taking the eraser and wiping off the chalkboard from July 21st.
But still having the subject twos that we,
You would have to reapprove those.
Those,
Once
okay.
it's rescinded, it's gone.
okay. Do we have any questions or comments from the commission?
At some point, I want to hear from Powell Acres residents. I'm not sure. I think we're going to rescind this regardless of that situation, which will come up in item number 3 at this point.
I think it all sums up to where we're basically trying to get everything back, just like this is the item, hearing it for the first time at our last meeting, so we're based on the correct information. Then we get into considering all the conditions and listen to the Powell Acres folks and everybody else.
I get the impression we're going to rescind this, and then the fireworks will start. Is that?
Well,
And so I don't have objection continuing with the rescind.
I'll also offer that just, keep in mind that between the 21st and now, there has been no material change at all to any of the proposals. In fact, this is all been championed by the town staff trying to correct this issue, and really Costco has really offered no information or changes in this.
They have no issues with the,
Okay? I'm Gary Palmer. I'm the assistant town administrator. I'm speaking to the microphone. I don't know how to work the volume over here. You guys are welcome to move closer. There's plenty of seats right up here.
anyone else on the planning commission have any questions? Does anyone in the audience have any questions or comments? Gary, will you go over just again the basics for the audience?
Okay, so this, with regard to the site plan, what we're requesting and recommending that the planning commission do is rescind the prior action of that site plan approval, which will then basically remove that action from July 21st, and they would have to reconsider it anew tonight. So nothing has changed from the proposal from Costco from July 21st until now. So our recommendation with that is that they take what was proposed on the 21st, approve that with the list of conditions that were offered on the 21st, less the rezoning attachment. So if there, and that includes that agreement that was discussed at the meeting. So if there are issues with that agreement, I would recommend that you bring those issues up.
Can you come
you
up
have
to
to go to
the
the
microphone?
podium.
Tell us who you are, please. And Gary, there are copies of this back in the back that anybody could pick up if they wish to do so. Is that right?
The agenda's in the back.
The
The
agenda.
actual packet is on our website. I'll post it on the website, the complete packet of information. I'd be happy to send it to anybody. And in fact, I think I did send it to most of the Powell Acre folks that I had email addresses for.
Hi, I'm Pam Roach. And we had a meeting with Costco. You guys had an emergency
Could you
meeting.
give us your address?
Where we had the meeting?
No, where you live.
Oh, 117 Ida Hertzler
Thank you.
Lane, Powell Acres. We had a meeting with Costco, the representative that was here. And so are you speaking about those agreements that he agreed to at Mr. Kaywood's house? Or are you talking about different agreements that you have decided on?
Well, we're referring to the same agreement that you are. The agreement of the 4 items that were discussed and negotiated between Powell Acres and Costco. So that at the last Planning Commission meeting, that was attached as part of the future rezoning request that was to occur because of the 50-foot buffer. But that attachment goes away because the rezoning petition goes away. So the agreement doesn't go away, but it is no longer tied to this formal process. So I know that probably causes some concern amongst Powell Acres. So I'm offering that you bring any concerns you guys have up so we can address them, and get everything on the table with this. It's the agreement's still whatever you and Costco, Powell Acres and Costco decides, and I believe the town attorney is drafting that agreement. It's just not it's not ready for execution.
Do we all understand that?
Yeah, we're simply just basically, I'll say, we're going to rescind. We're going to take back what we did last time, and now we're going to put it back in officially based on the official 50-foot that was there all along. And so,
And it has nothing
It sounds
with
like
what
multiple
you all
steps, but
have
it is fairly
agreed
straightforward.
with
Right.
Costco's.
we will be adapting
Right.
what you all had, but it's just based on the factual information. Same 4 points.
I'm Dick Kaywood. I live at 126 out of Hertzler Lane. We had the meeting on, I can't remember the exact date, with Jeff Rutter, and had a very agreeable session and agreed to these 4 conditions with little discussion. And so, I have tried to get in touch with Jeff in preparation for this meeting. He's on vacation. Haven't been able to do that. Have no reason to believe that Costco has changed their opinion about this agreement. And, we would like to legitimize that agreement to the extent that we can. And if that's by making it a part of the site plan approval, that's what we'd like to do. But we don't, we think these are modest considerations that Costco has agreed to. I'd like to think that the town would support those as well. So that's, I guess that's my pitch. We'd like to preserve those conditions and see them in print.
I can speak on that. I mean, if Tom wants to bring it up, it's and this has been the subject of debate over the past couple weeks, past week at least, with this issue is, how do we work out what Powell Acres wants, what we want for Powell Acres, what we're going to draft as far as this agreement, what Costco has agreed to, and look at the statutes that enable this body to make a decision and enforce that agreement. I don't think there's anything within the site plan regulations that can require Costco and be enforced by this body to enact that agreement.